You've seen it before, not in books, not in lectures, but in moments you can't explain. A shape, a pattern, a design that shows up in your dreams, in your meditations, or in the corner of your eye when you're standing at a crossroads in life. At first glance, it's just a symbol, ink on paper, geometry. But then something shifts. You feel it. A tension lifts, a thought clears. The atmosphere around you softens, like fog dissolving. This isn't decoration, it's design. Ancient civilizations didn't just draw symbols to represent meaning. They created them to transmit energy, to disrupt what doesn't belong, to dissolve what the body holds but the mind can't name. And one symbol, one in particular, was made for this exact purpose. You weren't supposed to just see it. You were meant to remember it. And today, you'll understand why. The symbol that keeps reappearing. It shows up when you're not looking, etched into temple walls, drawn in the margins of ancient texts, appearing in dreams you can't fully describe, but feel with striking clarity. Different cultures, different continents, no direct contact. And yet the same shape emerges over and over. The spiral, the flower, the interlocking lines, the overlapping geometry, not random, not decorative, consistent. Why does a single symbol echo across time, language, and belief systems? Because it doesn't belong to one culture. It belongs to consciousness itself. These repeating symbols are more than aesthetic. They act like frequency markers, appearing in moments when energy is unstable, heavy, or blocked. They carry a kind of memory, a pattern your spirit remembers, even if your logical mind doesn't know why. It keeps reappearing, not to decorate your path, but to redirect it, to interrupt the noise long enough for your inner system to realign. And the more it shows up, the more urgent the message becomes. You've seen this before. It's time to stop ignoring it. Where it comes from, and why that matters. This symbol didn't begin in modern books. It wasn't invented by a philosopher, drawn by a mathematician, or branded by a movement. It emerged, long before language, from Mesopotamia to Tibet, from Egypt to the Celtic Highlands, from African rock carvings to the heart of the Amazon. The same design appears, sometimes stylized, sometimes hidden, but unmistakably there. Some call it sacred geometry, others call it a mandala, a sigil, a seal. But its purpose is always the same: balance. You'll find it in ancient temples, carved into stone at precise locations, aligned with solar or magnetic axes. You'll see it in scrolls, passed hand to hand through lineages that never wrote their wisdom, only encoded it. Why does origin matter? Because when something shows up everywhere, it stops being symbolic and starts becoming functional. The ancients didn't just worship symbols. They used them as technology, as maps of the invisible, as tools for realignment, energetic purification, and personal clarity. This symbol survived not because it was beautiful, but because it worked, and those who understood it didn't need to defend it. They just passed it forward, until someone like you saw it again and felt the pull. It's not just a drawing, it's a frequency. At first glance, it's just lines, curves, shapes, symmetry that looks pleasing to the eye. But what you're looking at isn't really for the eye. This symbol operates like a tuning fork. It doesn't just hold meaning, it emits resonance, a vibration that interacts with your field the moment your attention lands on it. Have you ever looked at an image and felt calmer, more focused, like something subtle inside you just shifted? That's not imagination. It's entrainment. Your energy field realigning itself with a pattern older than memory. The ancients didn't see these symbols as illustrations. They saw them as frequencies made visible, frozen sound, frozen light. When you observe them consciously, your nervous system recognizes the order. Your breath slows. Your body begins to let go of noise it didn't even know it was holding. The power doesn't come from what the symbol means. It comes from what it does. It speaks the same language your cells speak. It bypasses logic and tunes directly into your vibration. So, no, this isn't just a drawing. It's a frequency in disguise. One your energy field has been waiting to remember. Why negative energy reacts to it. Instantly. Negative energy doesn't need to be explained. You feel it. In a room, in a person, in your own body, like a static field that won't clear. And yet, when this symbol is present, something shifts. It's not mental, it's vibrational, and the reaction is almost immediate. Why? Because negative energy thrives in disorder. It clings to distortion, confusion, fragmentation, imbalance. And this symbol? It's the exact opposite. It holds coherence, mathematical harmony, geometric clarity that doesn't just look symmetrical. It is balanced at a fundamental energetic level. When disorder meets order, one of them has to move. And in the presence of this symbol, the imbalance either integrates or exits. That's why you feel lighter, why your mind clears, why some people even experience sudden emotion, physical sensation, or deep peace. The symbol isn't pushing out negative energy. It's recalibrating the field, making the distortion incompatible with the space it once inhabited. And because the body is part of that field, you feel the change through you. This is why it was used in rituals, sacred spaces, and healing chambers, not to decorate the moment, but to reprogram it. The hidden pattern. Most people miss. Most people look at the symbol and see a shape. Some see a spiral. Others see symmetry. But almost no one sees what's underneath. Because the real power of this symbol isn't in how it looks, it's in how it's built. Sacred geometry isn't random. It's precision layered over precision. Ratios, angles, curves that match patterns found in nature, in your body, in cosmic movement. The symbol may contain the golden ratio, Fibonacci spirals, seed-of-life proportions, or phi-based layouts. These aren't just aesthetic. They're resonant blueprints. And when your subconscious sees them, it recognizes something ancient, something true. Most people miss it because the conscious mind is trained to focus on surface, lines, color, form. But the pattern within the pattern, that's what communicates with your energy field. It's why this symbol isn't just powerful in one culture. It works across timelines, across belief systems, because the code inside it isn't cultural, it's universal. When you start seeing the geometry beneath the symbol, you realize this wasn't designed to be understood. It was designed to resonate, not with your thoughts, with your entire system. Why it was hidden in plain sight. It's been on the walls of temples, in tapestries, on coins, built into cathedrals, crop circles, and even modern logos. Always visible, almost never questioned. But why? Because the most powerful tools aren't buried. They're disguised. This symbol wasn't erased. It was neutralized, turned into decoration, stripped of meaning, reduced to culture, myth, or aesthetic. So you'd see it, but never activate it. Religious systems absorbed it. Governments ignored it. New Age movements romanticized it. But very few people stopped and asked, why does this keep showing up in every civilization? Because if you knew what it really did, you'd realize you don't need middlemen to shift your energy. You don't need to buy or belong. You just need to engage with it. And that's dangerous to systems built on control, to industries built on confusion, to traditions built on hierarchy. So it was never hidden to hurt you. It was hidden to protect its power from being misused, and maybe to wait for someone like you to finally look deeper and ask, what happens if I take this seriously? The brain's reaction to sacred geometry. Before you understand it, before you even know its name, your brain reacts. When you look at this symbol, something in your nervous system softens. Something deep inside you recognizes order, not artificial control, but natural structure. Sacred geometry has a language your brain responds to instantly: balance, symmetry, proportion. These are not just visually pleasing, they're neurologically regulating. Studies have shown that exposure to geometric harmony, like the golden ratio or fractal patterns, can reduce stress, lower brainwave activity, and trigger alpha and theta states associated with meditation and healing. This symbol speaks directly to that part of you, not the part trying to figure things out, but the part that already knows when something is right. And here's the powerful truth. Your brain doesn't just observe sacred geometry, it entrains to it, meaning your thoughts, emotions, and even internal rhythms begin to mirror the structure you're seeing. That's why you feel calmer, why the room feels lighter, why suddenly you can think clearer. It's not about belief, it's about resonance. Your mind responds to truth faster than it can explain it. And this symbol, it speaks before words. You don't just look at it, you activate it. There's a difference between seeing and engaging, between observing a symbol and activating it. This isn't art, it's a tool, and like any tool, it does nothing on its own. It responds to one thing: intention. The power of the symbol isn't in the ink, the shape, or the history. It's in the energy you bring to it. When you sit with it, breathe with it, focus your awareness on it, something shifts. Your field begins to synchronize. Your thoughts slow down. Your body aligns itself with the pattern in front of you. It's not about worship. It's about co-creation. You're not asking the symbol to save you. You're using it to remember your own structure, your own capacity to interrupt chaos, clear the static, and recenter your system. Activation happens in silence, in presence, in choice. You might trace it with your finger, meditate with it near your chest, place it under your pillow, look at it before making a decision. But none of that matters unless you're present, because the symbol alone isn't magic. Your attention is. Real-world experiences and strange side effects. People don't just see this symbol, they feel it. And when they interact with it intentionally, things begin to shift, sometimes gently, sometimes abruptly. One person reported placing the symbol under their pillow and waking up from the clearest dream they'd had in years. Another sat in meditation with it for 10 minutes and felt a pressure in the chest dissolve, followed by a wave of calm. Others have felt sudden clarity, emotional release, an urge to let go of toxic relationships, to start a conversation they'd been avoiding, or to make a decision that had been trapped in hesitation for months. Some even report energetic side effects: tingling in the hands, heat in the spine, or brief dizziness, not as symptoms of harm, but as signs of internal reorganization. The truth is, this symbol doesn't give you something you don't have. It disrupts what's in the way. What happens after that disruption depends entirely on what you've been holding. It's not always gentle, but it's always revealing. Because once your energy begins to shift, your external life follows. That's not mystical. That's resonance physics. Your field changes first, then your reality catches up. How to use it for protection, clarity, and alignment. This symbol isn't passive. It's a tool, but only if you learn how to apply it. You don't need rituals. You don't need belief systems. What you need is presence, intention, and consistency. Here's how it works. For protection, place the symbol at entry points, doors, windows, your workspace, or even inside your clothing. Not as superstition, but as an energetic anchor. Your attention reinforces the boundary. Every time you see it, your nervous system remembers. This space is protected. No interference. For clarity, sit with the symbol during moments of confusion. Don't ask questions, just observe it. Breathe slowly. Let the pattern speak to your system, not with words, but with coherence. Often answers arrive not in sentences, but in peace. And that peace becomes the answer. For alignment, use the symbol like a mirror. When something feels off, spend time with it. Your energy field will start to recalibrate itself around the geometry. That's what alignment is. Not force, but return. You can carry it in your pocket, draw it, visualize it, place it beneath your food, under your mattress, near your heart. But remember, it's not about where the symbol goes. It's about where your focus is when you use it. The more intentional the moment, the stronger the effect. Why this isn't magic, it's memory. What you're experiencing isn't superstition. It isn't placebo. And it definitely isn't magic in the way we've been taught to imagine it. It's recognition. When you feel something move inside you as you interact with this symbol, when your body softens, your thoughts pause, or your awareness deepens, you're not being enchanted. You're being reminded. This isn't about learning something new. It's about accessing something buried in your system. A kind of memory encoded not in your brain, but in your field. Because long before you had language, before culture or belief, you had resonance. You understood harmony. You felt the difference between coherence and distortion. And this symbol, it speaks that native language fluently. That's why it feels so familiar, so right. Even if you've never studied it, your body knows it. Your subconscious knows it. Even your dreams have probably hinted at it. So, no, this isn't magic. It's design meeting remembrance. It's a mirror held up to the deepest part of your being, saying, you already know how to come back to balance. You've just been surrounded by noise. And now that you've remembered, you can't unknow it. It was never just a symbol. You thought you were just watching a video, just hearing a story, just learning about an ancient image. But deep down, something in you already knew. This symbol wasn't made to be studied. It was made to be felt, to realign you with the truth you forgot you were carrying. You're not being tested, you're being reconstructed, not because you're broken, but because your energy is remembering how to hold shape again. Symbols don't work unless you do. They don't activate because you believe. They activate because you engage. Every time you see it, you're being asked one question. Are you still numbing, or are you ready to listen? And how you answer determines what happens next. Draw it, use it, watch what happens. You've seen the symbol. Now it's your move. Comment below. Have you seen this shape before? In dreams? Art? Childhood notebooks you forgot existed? In the next video, I'll show you how to charge this symbol, so it doesn't just protect your energy, but also transforms the space around you. Subscribe. Turn on notifications, because the next symbol isn't waiting to be discovered. It's already watching to see if you're ready. And when the archives open again, you'll feel it. Until next one. Astral Archives transmission complete.